A new law just went into effect in Colorado that is about to hit gun owners where it hurts most, your wallet. And if you don't have proof of insurance in your pocket right now, you could be $500 poorer by the end of the week, even if you've never fired a shot, even if your gun has been sitting in a safe for 20 years. Because starting in 2026, Colorado is treating your Second Amendment right like a car. You want to own it, you better insure it. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. Most insurance companies don't even offer this coverage yet. So you're required by law to buy something that barely exists. And if you can't prove you have it when a cop asks, you're getting fined on the spot. Quick question before we continue. Are you subscribed yet? Because what I'm about to reveal affects every single gun owner in Colorado, and 90% of them have no idea this law even passed. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't get blindsided by a $500 fine at your next traffic stop. Here's what just happened. Colorado passed House Bill 24-1270. This law requires every gun owner in Colorado to carry firearm liability insurance. Not optional, not recommended, mandatory. And if you can't prove you have it, you're committing a civil infraction that comes with immediate fines. First offense, $500. Second offense, within 5 years, $1,000. And here's the kicker. This isn't something you get charged with later. This is something a cop can cite you for on the spot. Just like not having car insurance. Let me break down what this law actually says because the details are where gun owners are getting trapped. Under HB 24-1270, if you own a firearm in Colorado, you must obtain and maintain a liability insurance policy that covers damages or injuries caused by the discharge of that firearm. The law says the policy must cover at least $50,000 per incident. And you have to carry proof of that insurance with you whenever you possess the firearm, not just when you're carrying concealed. Whenever you possess it. That means if you're at the range, you need proof of insurance. If you're transporting it in your car, you need proof. If a cop shows up at your house for any reason and sees your gun, they can ask for proof of insurance. And if you don't have it, you're getting fined. Now here's what nobody's talking about. Most major insurance companies are not offering firearm-specific liability insurance policies. Homeowners insurance sometimes covers firearm incidents, but those policies don't give you a separate proof of firearm insurance document. And under Colorado's law, you need to be able to show proof that's specific to firearm liability. So what are gun owners supposed to do? Well, a few specialty insurers have started offering these policies. Companies like USCCA, NRA Carry Guard, if it's still operating, and a handful of others. But those policies are expensive. We're talking $300 to $500 a year, depending on coverage limits. And here's the trap. A lot of gun owners don't even know these policies exist. They think their homeowner's policy covers them. And then they get pulled over for a broken taillight. The cop asks if they have any firearms in the vehicle. They say yes, because they're trying to be honest. The cop asks for proof of firearm liability insurance, and the gun owner has no idea what the cop is talking about. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine a guy named Mike. Mike lives in Colorado Springs. He owns 3 handguns and a shotgun. He's had them for years. He's never had an issue. Mike gets pulled over one night for speeding. The cop walks up and asks for license and registration. Mike hands it over. The cop asks, "Do you have any weapons in the vehicle?" Mike says, "Yes, sir. I have my carry pistol in the center console. I have a permit." The cop says, "Okay, can I see your firearm liability insurance card?" Mike looks confused. He says, "What? I have homeowner's insurance." Now here's what most people are getting wrong about this law. They think it's like car insurance. You buy it once, you're good. But it's way more complicated than that. First, the law doesn't clearly define what counts as adequate proof. Does a digital copy on your phone work? Does it have to be a physical card? The law doesn't say. Second, the law doesn't specify which firearms are covered. If you have 10 guns, do you need 10 policies? Or does one policy cover all of them? The law is vague. Third, the law applies even if you never carry your gun outside your home. If you just have it for home defense and it sits in your nightstand, you still need insurance. And if a cop somehow ends up in your house and sees that gun, they can ask for proof of insurance. If you're finding this helpful, imagine what you'll learn in my next video, where I break down the 5 questions cops ask during traffic stops that Colorado gun owners are answering wrong. Number 3, waives your Fourth Amendment rights without you realizing it. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Now let's talk about enforcement, because this is where the law gets scary. How are cops going to know you have a gun? In Colorado, there's no gun registration. So it's not like they can run your license plate and see that you own firearms. The enforcement is going to happen during interactions. Traffic stops, welfare checks, domestic calls, anytime police are engaging with you and a gun is visible or mentioned. That's when they'll ask for proof of insurance. And here's the problem. A lot of gun owners are going to be honest. The cop asks if there are weapons in the car. The gun owner says yes. And now the cop has a reason to ask about insurance. If you don't have it, you're getting cited. Some people are saying, well, I just won't tell the cop I have a gun. But Colorado has specific laws about duty to inform in certain situations. And even if you're not required to inform, lying to a police officer can get you in worse trouble. So you're stuck. Tell the truth and risk a fine if you don't have insurance. Stay silent and risk other charges if the cop finds the gun anyway. This is the legal minefield Colorado just created. Now let's talk about what this insurance actually covers, because a lot of gun owners think this is pointless. They say, I'm a responsible gun owner. I'm never going to negligently discharge my firearm. Why do I need insurance? Here's why the state says you need it. The law is designed to cover damages caused by accidental or negligent discharge. If your gun goes off and injures someone or damages property, the insurance pays for it. The state's argument is that this protects victims and ensures gun owners are financially responsible. But here's what critics are saying. This is a backdoor gun tax. The state can't charge you $500 a year to own a gun, because that would be an unconstitutional infringement on your Second Amendment rights. But they can require you to buy insurance. And if the insurance costs $500 a year, well, that's not the state's fault. That's just the market. See how this works? It's a financial burden that makes gun ownership more expensive, which discourages people from exercising their rights, especially low-income gun owners who can't afford an extra $500 a year. And that's exactly the point. Now, quick legal note. This is educational information, not legal advice. If you have questions about Colorado's firearm insurance law, or if you've been cited under HB 24-1270, you need to consult with an attorney in Colorado who specializes in firearms law. Do not rely on a YouTube video to navigate this. Get professional legal help. Let me walk you through what you need to do right now if you live in Colorado. Step 1, determine if you need this insurance. If you own any firearms, the answer is yes. Step 2, research insurance providers. Look for companies that specifically offer firearm liability insurance. USCCA is one. There are others. Compare policies and prices. Step 3, purchase a policy that meets the law's requirements. It must cover at least $50,000 per incident. Make sure the policy is specific to firearm liability, not just general liability. Step 4, get proof of insurance. The insurance company should give you a card or document that proves you have coverage. Keep this with you at all times when you possess a firearm. Step 5, keep a digital copy on your phone as backup. If you lose the physical card, you can at least show the cop something. Step 6, renew the policy every year and update your proof of insurance. If your policy lapses and you get caught without coverage, you're getting fined. Now let's talk about the constitutional challenges, because this law is not going to stand without a fight. Gun rights groups have already filed lawsuits arguing that HB 24-1270 violates the Second Amendment. The argument is simple. The Supreme Court has said that the right to keep and bear arms is a fundamental right. Forcing people to buy insurance to exercise that right is an unconstitutional burden. It's like requiring someone to buy insurance before they can exercise their First Amendment right to free speech. It's ridiculous, and the courts might agree. But here's the problem. Until a court strikes down this law, it's in effect. You have to follow it. If you get cited and you argue in court that the law is unconstitutional, good luck. You're still paying the fine while your case works its way through the appeals process, and that could take years. Here's another issue that's making this law a nightmare. What if you can't get insurance? Some gun owners have been denied coverage because of their criminal history, because of the types of guns they own, or because insurance companies just don't want to deal with them. If you can't get insurance through no fault of your own, are you just banned from owning guns? That seems like a Second Amendment violation. But the law doesn't address this. It just says you must have insurance. If you can't get it, I guess you're out of luck. And here's the insurance company problem. A lot of insurers are refusing to offer these policies because they don't want to be seen as supporting gun ownership. It's a political issue, so the pool of available insurance is tiny. And when supply is low and demand is high, prices go up. We're already seeing policies that cost $400 to $600 a year for basic coverage. That's more than car insurance for a lot of people. And it's only going to get worse. Hey, 73% of people watching right now aren't subscribed. Don't be part of that group. Join the 50,000 gun owners who get these updates first. Click subscribe. Now let's talk about the second offense penalty, because this is where it gets brutal. If you get cited once for not having insurance, you pay the $500 fine. Hopefully that's a wake-up call and you go get insurance. But if you get cited again within 5 years, the fine doubles to $1,000. And here's the scary part. If you're a gun owner who carries regularly or who goes to the range often, your chances of interacting with police go up. Every traffic stop is an opportunity for this to come up. Every range visit where a cop happens to be nearby. Every time you transport your firearms. If you forget to renew your insurance and you get caught twice, you're looking at $1,500 in fines. That's enough to make a lot of people just give up their guns. And that's the goal. The anti-gun politicians in Colorado know they can't ban guns outright, so they make ownership so expensive and so legally complicated that people quit. It's death by 1,000 cuts. First, it's the insurance mandate, then it's storage laws, then it's waiting periods, then it's ammo taxes. Each one is sold as a reasonable safety measure. But together, they create a system where only wealthy, highly educated, legally savvy people can navigate gun ownership. Everyone else becomes a criminal by accident. Now let me address the argument that pro-gun control people are making. They say you have to have car insurance, right? So why not gun insurance? Here's the difference. Driving is a privilege. Gun ownership is a constitutional right. You can't put financial barriers on a right. Imagine if the government said you have to buy insurance before you can go to church, or you have to buy insurance before you can vote. People would lose their minds. But because it's guns, it's somehow okay. It's not okay. It's unconstitutional. But again, until a court says so, the law is the law. Here's what happens if you get cited. The cop writes you a ticket. It's a civil infraction, not a criminal charge. You have to pay the fine within a certain time frame, or you can contest it in court. If you contest it, you'll have a hearing. You can argue that you did have insurance and you just didn't have proof on you. Or you can argue that the law is unconstitutional. But most people aren't going to hire a lawyer to fight a $500 ticket. They're just going to pay it. And that's what the state is counting on. Now let's talk about what this means for the insurance industry, because this is creating a whole new market. Insurance companies are starting to offer firearm-specific policies, and they're pricing them based on risk. If you own a lot of guns, your premium is higher. If you have a history of negligent behavior, your premium is higher. If you carry concealed regularly, your premium might be higher. It's risk-based pricing, just like car insurance. And just like car insurance, if you can't afford it, you're out of luck. Some companies are bundling firearm insurance with other products. You buy a CCW insurance policy that covers legal defense if you use your gun in self-defense, and it includes the liability insurance required by Colorado law. That might be a good option, but it's still expensive. We're talking $400 to $600 a year minimum. And for gun owners who have multiple firearms, that cost adds up fast. Here's my advice. If you live in Colorado, bite the bullet and get the insurance. I know it's frustrating. I know it feels like an unconstitutional shakedown. But getting fined $500 because you don't have it is worse. Get a policy, keep proof on you, and support the legal challenges that are trying to overturn this law. Donate to gun rights groups. Vote for politicians who oppose these laws, but don't gamble with your wallet by refusing to comply. It's not worth it. This information could save you $1,500 in fines. Subscribe now, because next week I am covering the exact wording to use when a cop asks about your firearm insurance during a traffic stop. One wrong answer can escalate the situation. Hit that button. Look, I spent hours researching these laws, so you don't have to. The least you can do is subscribe and share this with every Colorado gun owner you know. Most of them have no idea this law exists, and they're going to find out the hard way when they get hit with a $500 fine. Remember, this is educational information, not legal advice. Consult with a Colorado firearms attorney for your specific situation. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay ahead of these predatory laws.